SLC update for Tuesday the 24th of August. I just wanted to show you the S&P chart saying how this was a buy signal because we had the SSI 21-day crossover, and I was saying how it would go up, and it certainly did. And so that's your buy signal. So we don't want to fight the dumb herd. When they go one particular way, which is that confirmation, then you'd want to do the opposite of those guys. Generally speaking, it's a very good indicator, the sentiment. You do the opposite and you profit, but it's the time component, which is what I want to talk about, and that's the reason I'm making the video. So you want confirmation over time, and I'll show you on AJ. So I'm going to close this down now, and I'll show you AJ. So there's the S&P chart. So the point of control is 4386. That's 100 points away. There's nothing above, as you probably were aware, all-time highs. So there's there's clear air basically. That's your support, and we're going to form a new volume node, up here. So where it's going to be, we don't know. It could be up here. As long as they continue to short, up it will come. And the reason for it is for reasons for slippage, and they want your liquidity, and it's easy money, especially if it is going to go up anyway, and your stops up here. It's going to come up and take your stops. So that's just something to bear in mind, is the volume node at 4386. Right. So be careful if you are long. We might come down and test that volume node, and then we can have a bounce off it. Just be careful. And then this is what I want to talk about, is the dynamic nature of the sentiment analysis. So you could look at this and think, well, it's a sell, it's over 50%. Okay, fair enough. The big picture is sell, but what's more important is the shifting over time, because this is the dumb money flow. And when they go, when they go long, it falls, which is what we saw here. They went long. We're looking at the orange line. It's MyFXpert. This is where we get the spreadsheet data from. And then when they short, see how we started going short there, ever so slightly. And this is the reason for that move. Up we came. And we took out the stop loss cluster just out of interest. It was just right there on that candlewick high, exactly on it to the pip. So I just want to bring your attention to this dynamic nature. It's so important that you guys are aware of, there's two components. There's the static, which is like a snapshot, and then there's like the moving picture, like a movie. So we can think of this like it doesn't really tell us that much information for direction. It gives you a vague idea. This is more telling, and it's what they do over time. So we have to examine where they were, look back into the past, and where were they? Well, they were here. They were 91%, which is like really, really skewed, and we would avoid the extremes anyway. And as we take this mouse down, 90%, 88%, 83%, see how they're actually shifting over time, and that move is propelling price higher. We have monthly support 1, which helped. And the next objective, because we got MS1, it will be pivot. And that's completely achievable, 81.52. Admittedly, we haven't got that much left before the end of the month, but we've got Jackson Hole, and it's going to be quite uncertain and very volatile. I don't know what's going to happen. No one does. But there's 5 days left for it to get to monthly pivot. The signal is up, and the dynamic shifting is saying buy. Ideally, we'd want that to match, but it doesn't necessarily have to. And you see how that works, okay? So just get a copy of the FXSI indicator, use the ratios, and watch it over time. And the MyFXbook is the orange line. So hopefully it helps. And get this FX multimeter as well if you can. And what I'll do a midweek wrap-up video in preparation of Jackson Hole. I won't be trading Friday. I'm totally going to just watch from the sides, because I think it's going to be an absolute roller coaster, and we could go risk off, which would make sense. This is just a notification, which I could do another video on. I've got an indicator that gives me notifications, but that's a separate video. So yeah, and just trade safely. Dollar CAD would potentially be a short if we look at the bubbles and we see how we cross the trend line as well. This is a free indicator from FX as a SI. We're forgetting it's called the auto trend lines, and we're going to get the SLC below. We see how we're getting the technicals to agree and the sentiment as a sell. Technical going long, yes, the dynamics agreeing with the statics. So that would be the two in a happy marriage, where the AJ is not like a happy marriage, but if it continues, then it will be. So UC could be a good short, but it looks like we're going to get that SLC. Whether or not they move their stops, it remains to be seen. Technically, we're at a sell. Monthly pivots there, so technically we're okay. So it's a bit tricky. Just trade safely. If you want me to do any charts, just let me know, and we'll see how we go. Just be careful with risk. We could come down to that point of control, or we could just continue to rally because we've got clear skies. So have a good day, and I'll speak to you guys at some point today, and if not today, then tomorrow. I'll speak to you soon.